Okay, the transfer pump will suck fuel from the fuel tank through a 25 micron particle cleaning fuel filter. May also have a water separator on that. Then it'll suck into the inlet port of the transfer pump. The transfer pump will pressurize that fuel to about 1575 psi. And then it'll send it out through a 5 micron particle cleaning secondary fuel filter. After that, it will go into this gallery here inside the port and helix housing. And from there, the fixed barrel that won't move has a spill fill port where the fuel will have access to. And when the plunger, which moves on the cam lobe up and down in the barrel, it has a fixed stroke because the cam lobe will not change. And as it moves up and closes this port, once that spill fill port is closed, that will be your beginning of injection. And it'll pressurize fuel inside the barrel. And it's capable of pressurizing up to 20,000 psi. But before that'll happen, we'll open up the delivery valve, which opens up at about 300 to 550 psi. That'll shoot through the heavy walled equal length seamless steel tubing into the injectors, and that fuel will act on the needle valve in the injector until cracking pressure of the injector, which, depending on the injector you have, will be between 1400 and 5000 psi cracking pressure. And essentially that'll be your relief valve for the system, so you won't ever get to that 20,000 psi pressure inside there. So as soon as the plunger, the helix in the plunger, see that, this is a lower helix, so as soon as this closes off this spill fill port, that'll be your beginning of injection. And since it's a lower helix, that'll be a constant beginning of injection, but we will have a variable end of injection. So as soon as that cam lobe pushes it far enough to uncover that spill fill port with this lower helix, that'll be your end of injection. And that'll release the pressure in there back into the gallery and pressurize out. And so when that pressure goes down in the system, the delivery valve will start dropping down, and as your retraction piston on the delivery valve closes or starts seating inside its bore, it will create two separate systems, and it'll still allow the delivery valve to drop a little further until it seats. So what that'll do is create a type of vacuum on the tube side of the injector system, and that will create a nice end of injection and hopefully no nozzle dribble. And then after that, well, the plunger and the barrel will have a 1 to 3 micron clearance. I'm not sure if I told you that already. That's for just enough fuel to go through and lube and cool the plunger and the barrel. And these annular grooves here will help with the sealing. There's 2 of them on this one, and that'll help with sealing the pressures. And to change the effective stroke, you have to rotate the plunger inside of the barrel, and to do that we have a little gear on the bottom end of the plunger, which this rack will act on. And this rack is controlled by the governor and spring tension. So as your speed increases, your flywheels on your governor will come out, on your mechanical governor, and act on that spring tension to move your rack. And essentially it will turn your plunger inside the barrel, and that'll change your effective stroke depending on where the spill fill port is compared to where your plunger helix is. And that'll be how much metered fuel you send out and your effective stroke. So this cam is rotated by your front gear train. It will also have flywheels on the front for advancing the timing. So as soon as your speed increases, your flywheels will come out and act on this shaft, turning it forward or in the direction of rotation, and that'll increase or advance your timing, since your load will contact your plunger earlier. So that'll give you your beginning of injection quicker than at idle, say. The operator can only change spring tension. That's all he can do. The governor takes the rest from there, and the governor will give you a variable, steady fuel rate, and it'll steady itself out wherever your speed is at. And what else is there? Right, your top half of the injector pump is pretty much lubricated and cooled by diesel fuel, and your bottom half is going to be, or maybe not half, but your bottom of the injector pump will be lubricated by engine oil. I think that's pretty much it.